ahead. And away they go. Adrian Slater on the right-hand side there. And Robert Babbickan on the outside, the left-hand line. So Babbickan getting a good run down to the first corner. Basil Demiroutis going very wide around the outside. And he'll take third, but oh, Babbickan spins and spins the whole field, basically. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Robert Babbickan right in front of everyone. It's whoopsie of the season, and they all speared out into the barriers to try and avoid him. Clouds of tyre smoke or something further down, and I think Barbara Armstrong's race, if she really isn't having much luck, that's Demiroutis, who is smoking heavily, being hit by somebody or something else. Looks like it's caught a tyre to rub, or is it? I don't know on earth what that is. Maybe the brakes locked on or something bizarre. Anyway, Kevin right behind, on board with Babbickan, trying to find his way back up through the field. That's Tim Bartlett in his 996. He's one of the Class 2 cars, passes him out of Shell Oils. And the leaders ahead. Adrian Slater with a big gap. Chambers in second. Demiroutis in third, but I wonder for how long. The car is crabbing in a straight line. Something has biffed his rear suspension out of line. I think the tyre is probably rubbing on the inside of the wheel arch. He's had a hit, that's for sure. Kevin Harrison behind him. There goes Babbickan on board with Julian Wiley behind Robert Babbickan at the moment. And Wiley out under the Yokohama Bridge. And there is Demiroutis. Look at the big one single black stripe he's leaving. The wheel really in a very dreadful shape. And even Adrian Slater, the leader, with a ding in the nose. Chambers looks to have got through okay. And there, the Class 2 car of Harrison staying out of the way as the faster Class 1 cars come past him. Mike Salmon and then Nigel Rice go through. Oh, and that's Adrian Slater. Oh, my goodness me. That is at the bottom of the hill at Cascades, and that is just absolutely straight off at full speed. Well, Mike Salmon goes past there. And that was a very hefty impact there. The crowd applauding as Slater walks away from that one uninjured, shakes his head. What on earth happened? Looks like total brake failure. Well, maybe he had a stone in the caliper or something else, or maybe he just got a wheel on the grass and plain lost it. Well, goodness, what more are we up for here? Salmon with Rice. This is for second at Knickerbrook. Rice went all the way around the outside. That was a very good move. Now slow exiting the chicane, and that might give Salmon a chance, except that he's probably also been held up by Nigel Rice. So Mike Salmon in third place, Nigel Rice second. And Pete Chambers, if he doesn't make any mistakes, has got this one in the bag. Into Druids. And, well, Mike Salmon closer on the second apex there. Chambers almost the full length of this straight away. Nigel Rice in second place, Mike Salmon in third place. But let's take a look again at the start as we ride on board with Robert Babbickan. Down to the first turn, gets to the apex. Now, is it my imagination, or is that a little jolt from behind? Maybe that explains the dent in Adrian Slater's nose. Let's have a look again from the outside. Very hard to tell as the cars go through the corner there, but I fancy that a little jolt from behind on the onboard camera is what triggered the whole thing off. And maybe that caused some damage to Adrian Slater's radiators. That might perhaps have leaked fluid and caused him to spin later. Who can tell? Car so badly damaged now, even the team will probably never know. Babbickan making up places then. That's Stephen Elliott. He goes down the inside, through Lodge, and then down Dearly. Come up the other side, onto the front straight, down towards Old Hall. And Robert Babbickan now easing his way back up the order. Kevin Harrison, Class 2 leader, goes out of shot. Chris Healy just taking third place there from Paul Mace in the class. So Healy, who started second, has dropped right down the order in the first corner. And Robert Babbickan right with Mike Salmon. Well, Pete Chambers is so far ahead, I really feel that Babbickan's got no chance of winning this, but he's clearly furious with what happened in the first corner and having a real charge. Not only his best qualifying result of the year, but by far and away, I think, Robert Babbickan's most aggressive race so far as well. down towards Knickerbrook. Look how much faster he is than Mike Salmon. He's all over the place trying to find a way by. Salmon gets into Knickerbrook faster, and I wonder if he'll be able to make a pass out of Druids and down under the Bailey Bridge. Well, he may even not take that long under the Yokohama and get to Druids. He goes around the outside. Can he take the line up to Druids? Yes, pretty much so. It's going to be a tight line in, over the curbs on the inside. Nicely controlled, though, up to third place. Just 2 cars ahead, and a little wave to say thanks for the racing room. Pete Chambers is the first of those cars ahead, and there the darker car, that's Nigel Rice, first and second, and Rice is closing on Chambers, and he's closing on him fast. Pete Chambers perhaps just taking it easy with such a huge advantage early on. Well, there is Craig Rapp now closing in on Mike Salmon. Salmon's in 4th place now, don't forget. Rapp in 5th position, but again catching Salmon very fast indeed. I think maybe Mike's car is not going the way he would like it to. Well, Craig Rapp's had a couple of dings, you can see in the nose and in the driver's door on the left-hand side. Oh, and a big slide from Mike Salmon. Outer Cascades, nearly sideways. Almost a replica of Adrian Slater's incident there. Now, I wonder what caused that. He clearly has got a handling problem of some kind. Whether that's what slowed him before or not, I'm not really sure. Flat out now, up towards Ireland. Has a bit of a lift. Oops, and he's off again. And this time he really is off. Avoids everything. Stephen Elliott goes by, and I think the safest thing to do with this Porker is to park it. That's what Chris Healy's going to do as well with the 944 Turbo. He was 3rd in Class 2, but he's been crawling around back to the pits for the last lap. Kevin Harrison leads Julian Wiley's turquoise car in 2nd place. Back up to 3rd now. Paul Mace right on his tail. And don't forget, Healy passed Mace early on after the first corner kerfuffle that dropped him back. Mace looking to the inside line, goes through past Julian Wiley. Wiley gives him plenty of racing room. They both use the grass and the concrete strips on the exit there. Last lap for Pete Chambers, and Nigel Rice's surge towards him has been halted. Chambers has responded in kind, reeled off a couple of quick laps and keeps the threat well under control. Last time down into Dearly. Well, don't know whether Chambers had the pace of Adrian Slater or Robert Babbickan, but certainly once they were out of the race, nobody to touch him, and he wins in comfortable style at Alton Park. Nigel Rice a couple of seconds back in 2nd place. And further back, the lead of Class 2 under closer disputes to the line. Harrison the winner, just from Paul Mace. Ian Croft the winner in Class 3. And poleman Robert Babbickan finishing 3rd overall.
Pete, many